Robert Tang is out of Burlington, and he is with ParticipACTION and their Get Inspired, Get Moving campaign. And Robert actually got his story posted on their wall of inspiration on their website, and they selected Robert. And you may have seen the commercials featuring Robert Tang of Burlington, who has overcome some obstacles to get himself into shape, and now he wants to inspire others to do the same. And we welcome Robert to the show because I think it's a great cause. Robert, how are you, man?
Very good, thanks, Mike. Ready to tango?
Robert, just a second here. Listen, I've got to say, because I'm on record on the radio having said this in the past, and I want you to help clear it up for me, because I watch the Dancing with the Stars from time to time, and I've been on the air saying I just don't get it. And you know what? And it's just me. But at the same time, but I do want to understand it. And you have taken on ballroom dancing was sort of your way of getting yourself into shape. What was it, first of all, that attracted you to ballroom dancing?
Well, basically, it was my parents. They decided to take competition dancing for the first time, so my sister and I followed them to a competition, and we were just amazed by the energy, the people, the smiles, all of that you can see on Dancing with the Stars. It's just very different when you're at a show. And also, they introduced me to who's now my wife, Beverley. At that time, she was the provincial champion, so when I saw her in her glamorous ball gown
and the skimpy outfit got you, didn't it, Robert?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
And all that twinkle and sparkle. So that was basically my motivation, and then decided to take lessons for the first time. There was another lady that was needing a partner, and I thought, this looks like too much fun. So I decided to take my first steps, and in my first lesson, who should be following me but Beverley and her partner. So she saw me dance for the first time as well. And then at some point, I just got into the competition scene, and then her partner decided to turn professional, and then our coach saw a little chemistry between the two of us, and we at some point decided to become partners first, and then we started dating, and the rest is history.
An amazing story, the way ballroom dancing brought you two together. What I find fascinating is, and here's the thing, right? Because this Dancing with the Stars thing has just gone supernova, and it is just gigantic. And I know it's driven a lot of people to try it, to take it up, which is great. Tell us about the athleticism involved, because I don't know, they're so graceful in their dancing that you don't realize what athletes they have to be.
Well, basically, Beverly and I ultimately became Canadian and North American amateur standard champions. I participated in other sports like martial arts, track and field, and the same energy that you dance and output, you're basically dancing for 8 to 10 minutes straight. So as you're moving around the floor, it's not only the physical element, you have to also move your partner around the floor, and that's what I got the kick out of. The act of actually, with other couples all around the floor, you have to shift your partner around. You don't know where they're going to be in the next, in their next steps. You have to pause a little, and then you show her off, and then you're on your way again. So part of the thrill of that is just the exhilaration, the adrenaline, and the thinking game. It's almost like a game of chess for me anyway. That's what we found. And I think a lot of people see that on the show now. They see the transformation. They see the struggle of, from Buzz Aldrin to, some of the other top athletes that are now taking part. You have your Olympic champion now in this season. So I think a lot more people appreciate the transformation, not only physically but mentally as well.
Well, and I would guess that what we're talking about here is a really good, sort of healthy, full body exercise, the ballroom dance.
My wife and I have a studio in Burlington, and we always say it's kind of like if you can walk, you can dance. And because you are moving to music, but at the end of the hour that you've done, you're sweating and you're having a good time. I think that's what physical activity is all about, and that's why ParticipACTION was particularly interested in our story and how we can use other fitness forms that give you pleasure and as well as other benefits.
Because that's the one complaint, right, about exercise. It's so boring and on a treadmill and you're whatever. But this is an excellent opportunity. I mean, there's really nothing boring, and music's playing and you're working with other people.
The nice thing about ballroom in particular is that you get to experience a whole different set of styles. Like, so you can tango, you can cha-cha, you can mambo, you can merengue, or you like a little bit more elegance, you can waltz and foxtrot. And then if you want more physical action and activity, you do the quick step. And once people feel the music and they see that it's really not that hard, and the good news is, guys, it's not that hard to do, and it's a great way to impress your girlfriend or your wife.
Or maybe meet your future wife.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And the nice thing too is a lot of people use ballroom as a way for a social date night. So they have dinner somewhere, and then after that they go dancing. And so even though they're having a physical activity, it's more than that. It's the emotion, it's the connecting with your partner, and so that.
And I also think the music. We don't get from time to time, we don't get enough music in our lives, and the music just it can just brighten the gloomiest of days.
The thing about ballroom right now, and you see it on Dancing with the Stars, is a lot of pop songs actually have rhythms that can be danced in ballroom.
Yeah.
So the Pussycat Dolls, like Nicole Scherzinger. I mean, we've been using her music for ages, and now people are discovering, hey, maybe I can put some pop songs, and not only pop songs, but if you're into hardcore rock and roll, I mean, swing dancing.
Yeah.
And what people of my parents' generation, and probably your parents' generation, did rock and roll music, and we take a lot of our programs into the schools, so a lot of kids now are discovering the joy of dance. When my wife and I did it, it wasn't too cool back then.
Yeah.
So we're just delighted that people have just, and especially with the shows, and so you think you can dance, especially here in Canada, you can see different dancers from all disciplines take up ballroom, and you can see some of them are talented, some of them need a little bit more time to develop. So,
well, as much as I haven't been engaged fully by ballroom dancing yet, I do want to try that crumping. We were with Robert Tang, and we're talking about ParticipACTION because it's a great program, and I love the idea. I mean, your story was turned into a commercial. Get Inspired, Get Moving is the campaign, but they also are asking everybody to post their story on their wall of inspiration on their website. So, tell your story about how you were, lethargic, you just weren't doing something, and something that got you moving, that got you out there exercising and getting healthier again, and you can help inspire others with their story. That's where your story was picked up from. But I got to say, Robert, it's interesting because part of your story was the fact that ballroom dancing helped you overcome chronic shyness.
Exactly.
You know what, dude? Listen, you don't sound like a shy guy to me right now. So you've come a long way.
No, I have, and growing up, in my youth and teens, very inward focus, and what I found with ballroom was initially you don't have to speak to people. You learn the step, you go in and you do the thing. But then because you are out there, showcasing yourself, you have to really, pull yourself together, and that's what I found with ballroom. So even though I was shy, I still am really. It's just trying to cope with. It became a coping mechanism for me. So.
And it becomes easier. You can break out of the shyness when you're talking about something that you enjoy, something
that's
that you.
The thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I would suppose that you want to let people know who've watched it and kind of think, well, it does look like a lot of fun. That you can ease into it. That there's, that no one is going to judge you. You can go out and just learn those first few steps and ease into the game of ballroom dancing.
It's really amazing now how there's so many opportunities for people to try out that first lesson. So there's a lot of community events out there. In Burlington, we have the Sound of Music Festival as well as Dancing at the Waterfront, and they're free lessons that we ourselves, in conjunction with the city of Burlington, are promoting, and ParticipACTION obviously are promoting dance. So that's coming up in June, July. There's also the internet is amazing right now. You go to YouTube, you can see a lot of dancing clips, and look for the ones that are for beginners or absolute beginners.
Robert, listen, it was great catching up with you. Thank you so much for using your story to inspire others. Go to ParticipACTION.com to check out Robert's story and many, many others on their wall of inspiration, and even get around to posting your own. Tell people what's got you up and active and participate.